seagulls outside our window. I bet they're pooping on our boat. Cole and I are not really morning people, but the longer we live on a boat, the more that I would say we are adapting to early morning life. But that still doesn't mean sometimes we don't hit 5 more minutes on the alarm, if you know what I mean. If there's anything we've learned about living on a boat, it's that every day is different and a solid routine is pretty hard to come by. But this is about as close as it gets. In this video, we're gonna show you what an average morning looks like on our floating home.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm either up and at 'em right in the morning or I like to lay around. And there's really nothing in between. Emily tends to jump out of bed when I want to lay in bed, and I typically jump out of bed when Emily wants to lay in bed. It's kind of like we wake up opposite of each other every morning.
Good morning, puppy. Good morning. Hi. How are you? Can I have a hug? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Dixie, do you need a potty? Go potty.
These days our mornings always include coffee, and if there's one thing that gets us excited about early mornings, it's a hearty breakfast. If you've been following our sailing adventures through the Caribbean, we're now anchored off of Catamaran. It's a small island belonging to the nation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now that breakfast is over, I'm gonna do a quick clean of the boat. I truly believe that a clean boat is a happy boat, and honestly, it makes me feel happier when everything is tidy and put away. Now that breakfast is over, it is my time to come in and do dish duty. Cole doesn't clean very well, and I don't really like to cook, so it just works out. He cooks, I clean. He's rarely made anything that I wouldn't eat twice. Don't tell him I said that.
All right, I'm gonna check the weather and see what we've got going on for today and tomorrow.
Certainly looks better than it was last night.
It's beautiful out right now, so I'm excited for that. And our next anchorage is supposedly the most beautiful place in the Caribbean. So,
What?
yeah, that's what they say. We're in good shape. We're gonna have a really nice couple of days now that that system blew over last night. One of the things that I realized in being full-time on the boat, I just feel like I sleep so much lighter than I used to. And it's really because the minute that you hear a creak or you hear a boat go by or you get waked or a storm comes, like you're awake right away. It's really hard to get into these morning routines because there was a storm that came through at 1 o'clock last night and it rained really hard and woke us up, and then I even had to go out and put out more chain because it started blowing like 30 knots.
Definitely
in the middle.
That meditation helps fall asleep. Helps us fall asleep.
Yeah, we do use the meditation app to go to sleep, and I think it works because I fall asleep right away.
You're like cutting logs so fast.
I don't
Turn that
snore.
on. You like baby bird it. That's what I call it. I look over.
What
and
is baby
and Cole's
birding?
like this. I think of a baby bird. Like I could just put a worm in his mouth. I always sleep the second night on anchor at a new place so much better because the first night it's like it's proving itself that it's gonna hold well. And especially if we ever go dive the anchor. If we dive it and get to physically put eyes on it, that definitely makes me sleep better. I know you guys probably think that our days look like this all day. Playing and exploring, visiting new places, and while that is a huge, huge part of what we do, it's only a fraction of what we do in the big scheme of things. I would say we probably spend 80% of our time right here working. The truth is, we work harder now than we, I think, ever did in our corporate America careers, but we've never felt more fulfilled in life than we do right now. It's time to get some work done. I'm gonna do some editing. Cole is working on some business, and that's really how we kind of divvy our task. Anything creative pretty much is my responsibility, and anything business-wise is Cole's responsibility. And kind of the way we like to say things is, if it weren't for Cole, we wouldn't be here, because he's the brains behind buying the boat, and then if it wasn't for me, no one would know about it. And that's just really how we work, operating off of each other's strengths.
It is time for us to get into our bathing suits, because that is our normal attire living on a boat, and turn off the AC. Open up all the windows and let the air flow through. You know, that's one of the things we love about our boat is that forward door. So we're gonna open it all up and enjoy the rest of the day. It is now time for me to get the boat ready, because just a few minutes we're going to be putting up the mainsail, pulling anchor, and sailing a little bit further south.
Remember how I told you every day is different? We're slowly making our way south to Grenada for hurricane season, so this morning we have to keep moving.
All right, let's get going.
All right. Woo, got some pretty good wind, huh?
Yeah, we've got 13 knots right now, true.
Yeah, this is
So
making
it's gonna take a little while. Just let the weight of the chain pull the boat forward, and just keep pressure on it, but don't put too much pressure on the windlass itself.
It's definitely more challenging always having to sail off anchor, but the good thing about having problems with our engines is it's forced us to become better sailors.
The water here is absolutely beautiful.
All right, we've got 40 feet to go.
All right, so once we get it up to, we're gonna try and get up to 6 knots, and then we'll tack and turn the other way. But we're just gonna...
Tack? What's tacking?
Yeah, right?
I'm just kidding. I would have said that a year ago. We did say that a year ago. We're like, what's tacking? What's a sheet? Man, oh man, have we come a long way. Today's passage will be a quick sail to one of the most beautiful anchorages we've ever been to. Looking good, Captain.
Here we go, nothing in our way. The world is ours today, and we've only just begun. Chase the light, time is on our side. Future's open wide as we face the golden sun. What a time to be alive as our dreams awake to life.
Goodness, guys, these are the days that we absolutely live for. You know, all that bad weather, restless nights, sleepless nights, it all goes away when you have a day like this. Wind in our sails, engines off. It just makes it all so worth it. We always like to say this lifestyle is highest of highs and lowest of lows, and this is a pretty high right now, and I'm just glad we get to share it with you.
Really cool old sailboat there in front of us. That guy's sailing upwind pretty well, actually. Well guys, we have made it to the paradise of the Caribbean, Tobago Keys, and I am so excited. That was a beautiful sail. We literally didn't turn the motors on until right now, where I'm literally gonna turn into the wind and drop our main because we are almost to our anchorage. We had 14 knots of wind and we were doing 6.5, 7 knots sailing with a reef in, which is amazing. We've been reefing the boats, or we've been reefing the main as we have sailed across these islands, because what ends up happening is when you go from island to island, it acts like a funnel between the islands, and the wind just can pick up and really have some nasty gusts. So we put one reef in just to be careful. Safe, rather be safe than sorry, right? So we've been doing that, and this boat's been performing really well. We had the wind right at our 60 degrees, which you cannot ask for anything better than that with this boat. It just loves to push right away with the wind at 60s.
I'm just making some plantains for a quick snack. It's one of my favorite things to make. Sweet, savory. It is amazing. While I'm making these plantains, I want to tell you guys a little bit about where we are. The Tobago Keys are a group of small uninhabited islands in the southern Grenadines. This area is a marine park, so that means the marine life and ecosystems are protected. No, they're starting to burn. That happened so quickly. I am the worst cook. A little savory, a little sweet. Just a drizzle. Woo. Bon appetit.
They're perfect. Good job.
Almost like you make them.
Wow.
Tasty?
Yeah, they're good. They're hot.
Yeah. Well,
They're so awesome here.
it's so beautiful. There's nothing quite like the feeling I get when I'm freediving. It's the only thing I've ever found that makes me truly quiet my mind and be 100% in the moment. I like to think of it as a vacation for my brain, which comes at a perfect time in the middle of our workday. For the time being, all the things on my to-do list fade away, and the only thing I'm concerned with is my breath.
Let's go. Good job, babe. Proud of you.
Thanks for joining us for a look into our morning routine. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please smash that subscribe button. It helps us a lot more than you realize, and we'll see you next week.